So again, with the next word, project versus project. So we've got project as the noun. Have you completed your project? And project. Project is the verb. I need to project my handout on the wall so everyone can see it. Okay, project. Project, and again, since the first syllable is no longer stressed in the verb, the vowel turns into kind of a schwa, a short U. Project. I need to project my handout versus project. And notice that in the noun project, it's not project with a long O, it's project. Have you completed your project? Project, noun, project, verb. Default. Default is the noun versus default is the verb. So not only is there a change in stress, but again, there's a little bit of a change in the vowel. Default, default. The other team didn't show, so they won by default. This IPA transcription over here has kind of a an O. This symbol here, the backwards C is like an O, but in the Western United States we say ah, default, default. The other team didn't show, so they won by default. Default, on the other hand, is the verb default with a long E, default. They are about to default on their loan. The stress is on the first syllable, default. They are about to default on their loan. So the vowel is a little bit different, and of course the stress is now on the first syllable. Which is interesting because in some of those past examples, the verb had the stress on the second syllable, right? You just have to know it. You just have to learn it. Typically, it goes to the second syllable when it's a verb, but not always, as we can see from this example. All right, now we have invite versus invite. Now, on this one, again, the stress is on the first syllable for the noun, invite. Did you get the invite I sent you? The invite was in your mailbox. Invite. Stress on the first syllable. Invite. Stress on the second syllable. Verb. I'm going to invite my friends to the party. And for this word, no changes in vowels, just syllable stress. Invite versus invite. Invite noun, invite verb. Wound versus wound. Wound is the noun, wound, with a long U kind of sound, wound. He had a small wound on his finger. By the way, I don't know why, is it this eye or this eye? Because I can't actually see myself right now. I'm looking at the presentation, but I know I have a red mark on my eye. I have no idea how that happened. It's just a burst blood vessel, I think. I don't know what I did. But anyway, I guess you could call that a wound on my eye. Not really. Who knows? Wound. He had a small wound on his finger. Versus wound is the verb. So change in vowel. Wound. Ow, ow. I wound the string into a ball. That's the past tense of wind. So wound. Today I wind. Yesterday I wound. Today I wind the string. Yesterday I wound the string. Wound. Spelled exactly the same way as wound. W-O-U-N-D. Now we have produce versus produce. Produce. Spelled exactly the same way, P-R-O-D-U-C-E. So the noun is produce. Produce. Syllable stress on the first syllable. Produce with a long O. O. Produce. The verb is produce. Actually, we kind of use that schwa sound in the first syllable. Produce. Produce. They produce cars at the factory. Produce. What do you produce? Produce versus produce. Produce is the noun for fresh vegetables and fruit. Versus produce. Let's see. The next one is refuse versus refuse. Refuse is the noun, meaning garbage or trash. The refuse was not disposed of properly. Refuse. Stress on the first syllable and the vowel is short e. Versus refuse. Long e sound. Refuse. Refuse. I refuse to do this again. Refuse. Stress on the second syllable and the long e. Re. So that's the verb.